In this video, I'm going to share with you my 5 top habits that I've developed to help me manage stress in my business. If you're new here, my name's Taylor Tassie. I'm a UK business owner, aged 25, based here in Norfolk in the UK. Over the last 6 or so years, I've built a business approaching now 10 million in turnover and employ almost 50 people across a few different businesses involving property, promotional products, and some other new ventures that we're just getting off the ground. Habit number 1 is to have a brilliant morning routine. It's really cliche and you hear it a lot and some people don't believe in it, but for me, when I developed a really strict, non-negotiable morning routine that involves getting all of those things that are going to set me up for the day really solid before most people are even up and awake, has geared me up for success. During the day, you're going to get thrown all sorts of different things at you that are normally never great things. They're going to be challenges, obstacles and problems, and they're going to stress you out. And I've found that by building my mental resilience through engaging in activities like exercise, reading, going on long walks, ice baths, all those kinds of things, and a lot of people don't believe in it, I've really found that they've built my mental resilience. And if I have a really strong morning where I've ticked off all of those things, I'm just geared up for success and I'm ready, I'm in a positive mood and I'm ready to attack the day. I really believe, especially when I'm having a rough time, if I can just get myself out of bed and into the gym first thing in the morning, I go onto YouTube, type motivational, I think I just put in motivation for business owners, and there is tons of like 50-minute long episodes of just people repeating positive affirmations and motivational quotes in your ears whilst I'm in the gym and doing resistance training, lifting weights. Nothing I can compare to that feeling that just sets me up and I think, yeah, yesterday was rough, but today's a new day, and I have an hour of people shouting in my ear almost, and that really gears me up to go and fight again for another day. So get a really solid morning routine, and when it's tough, have someone ringing in your ear to motivate you, and then get on and go for the day. Habit number 2, reframing the situation. Very often, 99% of the time, things are just not going to go the way you want them to go. My experience recently is when you go into a project, when you go into a relationship with a business, a customer, a supplier, it's never always going to be hunky-dory. You know, you bring contractors in, it's always going to overrun. It's always going to be over budget. You sign off some software, it's never quite going to, they're not going to build the website and host it perfectly on day one. And what you've got to understand is that I've been guilty of being so frustrated and letting myself get so down about these things. And the big thing is just trying to stop, take a moment and reframe the situation. You just have to, in this life, believe that if something's gone wrong, it was meant to go wrong. It just is meant to be. And you have to tell yourself that for so many different reasons. Somebody's not paid you. Somebody's given their order to someone else. Somebody's pulled a contract from you. The building works haven't finished on time. The software didn't go right first time. You have to try and reframe the situation as a positive, that, okay, it didn't go right first time, but that's because we're meant to discover something that's going to build a better product by the end. The building work didn't get finished on time, but that's because if they hadn't have taken an extra week, the beam would have been wrong and we'd have had a leak the week after. You have to try and tell yourself that, otherwise you can just get sucked into this negative spiral. So my big thing is just try and take stock and go, how am I going to find the good in this? And that is tough, and I'd be lying if I said I do it every time, and I still trip myself up and think, oh, you're falling into a negative spiral. But I am making a conscious effort as much as possible to reframe all the negatives in my life as a positive. And if you can crack it, and I'm not there yet, but when you can, I just believe you'll live such a happier life for it. So reframe from negative to positive, try and see the good in everyone and everything wherever you can. I know that's tough. Habit number 3 is to brain dump when you feel overwhelmed. When I start to feel just overwhelmed and like the world is getting on top of me, when there's just too many projects going on, and you know, Taylor 10 days ago had overcommitted to too much and overfilled the diary, plus all the daily problems and fires are coming in, and I just feel like it's all too much and the head is going to explode. I just have to stop, take myself out, shut myself away with some paper, and a pen and just literally brain dump everything out of my mind. Just every thought, every feeling, every challenge, everything that's in my to-do list, and I just need to get it all out, and then I need to sort it into what is ultimately the priority, what actually doesn't matter, what can I bring some help in to help me on, and what just get rid of or push back for another 3 months. And so my business coach once taught me the 4 Ds, which was do, ditch, delegate, defer. That's another great tactic that you can do, the 4 Ds, and you split it into different headings. What do I ultimately need to do as a priority? What can just be ditched and it's just noise in my brain? What can be deferred? Like push it back a month, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it may be, and what can be delegated to one of the team members. It's very easy when you're building a business and you start to bring people in to do roles, and then it's like when crisis hits, you forget those people have been brought in to do those roles, and you still think it's on your shoulders, but it's not. And you take that time when it's on the pad and you go, oh, hang on a minute, shouldn't even be on my desk. So I really believe, just ask yourself, I use a set of very set questions. I use a journal, and when I feel very overwhelmed, I just take that time to just really ask myself, what's the ultimate priority right now? Am I overthinking things? What would future Taylor tell me about this? And I just literally spend the time writing it out or putting it on sticky notes, having a bit of a reset, and then I go again. So just spend the time, brainstorm, brain dump, whatever you want to call it. It will really release the mind, clear it, and then we go again. Habit number 4 is to listen to your body earlier. I believe that running a business when you're in high growth mode and when you're scaling up, to be honest, even when you're not and you're just trying to stay afloat, is one of the most difficult things that anybody can put themselves through. And I think a lot of people who want to get into business or run their own business actually underestimate the real toughness and the mental resilience that you actually need. 1 minute you are on top of the world, and the next minute you feel like, the world's on fire around you and you can't even see the wood from the trees. And one of the big things that I made a mistake on earlier is not listening to my body early enough, when my body was just overexerted and just needed to slow down. And so one of the big habits that I've got really strong on now is making my health my first foundation and listening to my body. And when my body isn't able to give 100%, being okay with the fact that I need to respect that I'm only getting the one body, I'm not coming back again. And when my body's only got 40% in the tank on a day, being okay, comfortable and happy and respectful to the fact that my body's only got the 40%, so that's all I'm going to be able to give today. And not being afraid to cancel a meeting, push a meeting back, give myself more bandwidth, push back a project, even if I committed to it 2 weeks ago, if my body feels that I'm overexerting, because the burnout is real. It's happened to me about 4 or 5 times where I've been written off for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time, and my whole world has just come crashing down, and I've been filled with anxiety. I've just been an emotional wreck, and I'm not afraid to tell people about that, because it creeps up on you and you don't expect it to be coming, and you feel like you're invincible, and we're really not. Some people, yes, they have a higher tolerance to stress, and they have a higher tolerance to crazy loads of different plates spinning around them, and I do believe that resilience is like a muscle. And I've developed a lot more. Some of the things I handle in a day now would have crippled me 3 years ago. But I think you need to respect your limits and start to sense. So I have little signs that come on. I'll get really weirdly, I'll get like cold sores, I'll get like migraines, I'll get just a real sort of like lethargic feel on. And they're the early warning signs that I've now developed, 3 or 4 early warning signs that will tell me it's coming. So start to tone it down a bit. You've overexerted yourself. And for years I didn't respect that. So just learn to listen to your body and try and spot the signs early on, because it can be a really dangerous place and you're only getting one body. And if you get taken out, it will cost you more than, the hours that you're losing right now. So just take a chill pill sometimes. That's that. Habit number 5, a big one, getting out of your regular environment. I've learned that big thing is to get yourself out of your regular environment. One of the things we've been doing, myself and the senior team, is getting out and spending time around other businesses and other business owners, seeing their operations, not even in the same industry, but polar opposite industries, other businesses, factory tours, going out and going to conferences, going to events, spending time with other people that share similar vision, values to you will light your fire. You'll be spurred on, you'll feel more energized, and you'll just actually be really buzzing to get back to the office and get back to the environment that you're used to, because you'll be filled with that passion, energy, effort, and enthusiasm to get back in and get going again. So just take time when you feel overwhelmed or the stress is getting high, just message another competitor, another company. There's loads of companies now that offer factory tours, there's conferences, coach days, all that sort of stuff. Get yourself out and spend your time with other people, and you will feel so much better for it by getting out of your environment, giving yourself a ton of new ideas, and getting yourself back out there ready to go again. So that's it. That's my top 5 habits that I've developed that work for me to help manage my stress as our business is growing. I'd love to hear how some of you guys manage your stress, because I'm sure some of you have got some tips that would really help me. So please, if you like this video or you've got any tips that I haven't covered that have helped you in managing your stress, running your businesses, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear.